Tired of mystery hardware filling up bins in your garage? We're going to show you how to figure out what it is. Okay, so today we've got a couple different bolts. We're going to show you how to measure them. But before we show you how to measure metric and American hardware, we should talk about what the measurements mean. So I'll draw two different bolts here. The first thing to talk about is thread pitch. And that means how many threads there are. Basically, is it a very coarse piece of hardware like this, or is it a finer piece of hardware like this? Now, there are a few common thread pitches, but you really need to know how they work. Oh, for American hardware, thread pitch will be expressed as a number like 13 or 24, something like that. And that means how many threads are within 1 inch. So 1 inch. And our hypothetical bolt drawing here would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This should have a thread pitch of 7, which is not that common. So for metric hardware, it's a little different. Instead of a set number of threads in a specific measurement, for metric hardware, you're actually measuring the distance between two threads. It's this distance right here. So in this case, that's about 1 inch or 25 millimeters. So this would have a thread pitch of 25. Again, not a real measurement. So you'll often see metric hardware as something like by 1 or by 1.25 or by 1.5. Those are all thread pitches. And you'll see American hardware as something like by 13 or by 24, something like that. That's how many threads are in 1 inch. Okay, so we've talked about thread pitch and how it's different for metric and American bolts. Now let's talk about diameter. And that's actually about the same. You just measure from the outside of the threads. So in this case, this measurement, let's say it's 1/2 inch. And in this case, we're going to say this measurement is 10 millimeters. Again, pretty much the same thing, just one uses a standard unit of measure and the other uses metric. So let's talk about bolt length. And you might think that bolt length is measured, the length of the bolt, but it is actually this measurement. And this is the same for metric and American. This is the length of the threads. The head isn't actually relevant to bolt length. So again, this is arbitrary. There's all sorts of lengths here. And same thing for American hardware. That would be, maybe 2 inches of length here. So we'll say this is 100 millimeters. Okay, so that's a general overview of how each measuring system works. So the American bolt here is a 2-inch long, 1/2 inch diameter, 7 thread per inch bolt. And this metric bolt I drew here is a 100 millimeter long, 10 millimeter diameter bolt with a 1.5 thread pitch. So let's see how this works in real life. You can do this with a ruler or a pair of calipers. I like the pair of calipers just because it's a little quicker. Oh, let's go ahead and measure this first bolt. So first I'm going to do the diameter, and I'm right at a 1/2 inch. So this is a 1/2 inch diameter bolt. We're going to measure length, and it looks like this is a 1.5 inch long bolt. And then we're going to measure thread pitch. So I'll set this to 1 inch and count, and I'm counting 13 threads per inch. So this is 1.5 inches long, 1/2 inch diameter, 13 thread per inch bolt. Now, and how do I know it's American? Well, a couple different ways. For one, you can kind of tell diameter, thread pitch, etc. when you work with enough of these. But head markings are a real easy way to do it. So American bolts will almost always have their grade marked with a couple of dots or dashes like this. And metric hardware will almost always have, in this case, an 8.8 or a 5.9 or a 10.9, something like that. Oh, easy way quickly to tell the difference between an American and a metric bolt if you're not sure how to measure it. Otherwise, you can also just measure them and figure out which one lines up with the size you know. Oh, we'll go on to the metric bolt next here. Again, I'm going to do diameter, and I'm at 10 millimeters. Go length, and I've chopped this one up, so it'll probably be something weird. It's a 30 millimeter long bolt. And then we're going to measure the distance between a thread. And it looks like that is a 1.5 thread pitch. There we go. We've measured two different bolts. If this seems like a chore, it is, and there are a couple different devices made to check bolts for you. I'm a big fan of these. These are called the original thread checker. They come in metric and American and mixed, a couple different options here. And basically what these are is a bunch of little nuts and bolts kind of all built into one string here. And what you could do is just kind of screw hardware in until you find a match. In this case, look at that, 1/2 by 13. And there's a metric version too I have here. Again, you just kind of try and thread it in. Okay, and 10 by 1.5. So you're probably wondering, why do you care? Why do I need to know exactly what thread pitch and such my bolts are? It's really, really handy if you need to replace anything, and you frequently do when you're restoring a car. So now, instead of just saying, I need a bolt that holds the suspension on or whatever, you can say, I need exactly this bolt with exactly these specifications, which can save you a lot of time and money, and you can make sure you have the right hardware the first time. Hopefully this will help your hardware stop driving you nuts. Until next time, we'll see you in the shop. Please make sure you like and subscribe.
If you like this video and want to see more, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video. And to see more stories like this, visit us online at classicmotorsports.com.